the start of another week. I don't know what we're up to today, but the weather is not coming back for at least another week yet, so I think we're going to get ready for harvest, start getting some of these grain stores ready, because it won't be long. It could be as little as 3 weeks, and we should really, I would imagine, be combining. Some people have already started their winter barley, which is good. Just loading Linda up for hay deliveries. These big bales, they should be gone. This week, I think they'll be picking them up. They actually came in not too bad order. Driving on this concrete is beautiful. So while we're waiting for the weather to change, hopefully, we're going to crack on with some pre-harvest jobs that need to be done anyway. So you don't want to be doing these jobs, you know, if you can help it, you don't want to be doing them in the sunshine. Sometimes, you know, that's what weather you've got. So, but if you've got a showery week like we have, we might as well use that time to get everything ready for harvest. And then when harvest comes around, I've got a really weird feeling that harvest and haymaking are going to be happening at the same time. We just need a 2-week window really to get the last of the hay. The hay makes a lot quicker. Now we're into July. You've only got a 2 to 3 day turnaround on the hay, and you can stick it in a bale. But we're just not seeing those options at the minute. We've got another heavy rain coming tonight, then you've got one dry day, and then another possible showers the day after. We just haven't seen any windows. Look, got some down corn in here now, look. Oh, I thought that might happen. We've had some heavy rain and some strong winds to go with it. So the rain will make the top of the plants really heavy, and then the wind gives it a good push, and yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? Now the combine has to try and get underneath that, and you'll get yield loss from that as well. So that's a bit of a shame. We've got the same situation back at home on the hill, especially. There's some bigger patches than those. I'm not seeing it all over the field, which is a bit of relief. But yeah, so we're up to Jim's first. I think we're going to tackle Alistair's grain store as well. We've got our own grain store to sort out, so we've got a few days of wet weather jobs, and there's also barn work to prep back home as well. So there's it doesn't mean you get to sit at home and do nothing. There's just different types of jobs going on, and as soon as the weather comes back, we've also got to get the combine back. That needs a good wash off before we go combining. Luckily we haven't got any winter barley in, so that makes our harvest date a little bit later than some of the others. People have started winter barley, and I imagine they've started winter wheat as well. No, winter rape. I imagine they've started winter rape, combining that. But yeah, really hoping for some drier weather to come back. That's where we are. It says smoke generating containing primifos methyl.
Yeah, so you used to be able to buy it as a liquid, Matt.
Yeah.
You used to be able to buy it as a liquid and actelic, and you could also buy it as a dust. They used to put the dust in with the corn. So as you put your grain into store, yeah, you mixed, you know, so many grams of dust per ton.
Yeah.
And you could just, I can't remember what you used to have, you know, bloody dog feed tin and.
But that gets in everything, doesn't it? And gets rid of.
Oh yeah.
Gets rid of it, any nasties.
Yeah. Yeah. You just fix this door.
Sweet.
Make sure there's your access lid. Don't like these first.
And just one will do, is it? You don't need.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
This one's going now. Don't go in there. Right, that's the first two grain sheds are ready. These are Jim's grain sheds, so they're ready to go. If it comes to the point we need to go harvesting, we haven't got to worry about the grain stores here. We've got Alice's still to do, we've still got our own at home to do. There's a little bit more work over at Alice's, there's a good day over there. It's got drying floors, the floors always get bunged up with corn, so you've got to clean them out. But at least that's one down, out the way with. These days are pretty annoying. You get a day like today where you could, you know, it's not the most worst day you've ever seen, but tonight there's going to be heavy rain. And it's just, yeah, just annoying weather at the moment. Farmers re-sprayed these set-aside fields. Just any little weeds and stuff that are coming through. We're actually looking at maybe including some set-aside schemes into our rotation a little bit, and I'll let Farmer talk about that another day when we're more into it. But it's not the worst ideas in the world, because they pay you a nice fee to have set aside, and you get to clean up your fields at the same time. So, and it's a break crop in between wheat as well. So there's actually some pretty good values to have there. So winter wheat at the back there. I haven't actually been across to look at that for a while, so we're just picking up the combine and taking it home to the farm, where it'll have its wash. We have still got attached to it the bean kit, because that was what we were on last, so we've got to put the cereal kit back on. We've got some fun and games on the road now, and we're just coming up into rush hour as well, so it's going to be super fun. But nothing we're not used to, so we're going to get this home, and then we will, when we get 5 minutes, we'll get the cereal kit put on, and I'll show you that when we get to it, unless Farmer does it when we're not looking. We're over at Alice's grain store. This grain store's got a drying floor in here. This section in the middle is the wind tunnel, and it blows every metal corridor has its own hatch and its own wind tunnel. But what happens is it gets full of grain, and yeah, attracts lots of mice and lots of rats, so we poison it up pretty nice. We've got to have every section comes up like this, so we've got to, if you get this wrong, these all break down into singular pieces, so you got to make sure you roll them up right. You've got to get in there with a shovel it all out. Keithy's got the hoover on the go. We've got the tunnel to do, and we've got this side to do as well. These are a little bit easier getting out. Usually they come out in panels, so. But underneath the floor has got to all be swept out and cleaned out and shoveled out, and it smells very mousy in here, which is completely normal. I'll show you the fans and the wind tunnel when we're finished. We love this job, don't we, Keithy? It's an all day of this one, isn't it?
2 days.
It's all day if you're lucky. It's all day if you cleaned it out properly last year, isn't it?
Yes, we did clean it last year.
But I imagine it's going to be pretty chocker in there. The channels unwind. If you get them wrong, they will literally explode into individual pieces. Right pain in the mud. The air comes from this side, which is the tunnel. The fans are behind this wall here. They blow through this way. Each tunnel's got its own, has its own gate on there. So if you've only got a little bit of corn in here, you can literally just blow these 2 tunnels at a time if you want to. It's heated as well as cooled, so it's a pretty good system. It's just a bugger to clean out. This is a good one. When you've got a channel like this, that's an easy one. Some of the channels will be blocked. Literally the whole channel will be blocked full of corn and mice poo. So I'm going to get myself a mask. But basically, hoover it out, sweep it out, work all the way back. We try to put poison, lay some poison down in there between now and harvest. That'll get rid of any mice and rats that you already got, and then you start a nice fresh for harvest this year. If you don't lay the poison down, you'll have hell of a mess to start with, but if it's clean, you're less likely to get mice and rats. They're only here for the food.
You know what shit drops off at night?
Oh yeah.
Just lay it down like a piece of it.
What's your egg, Kiki?
Not too bad. Yeah,
You got it?
Yeah. She goes to that front and I can have the pin out.
There's a lot of spaces in these pins.
Yeah. You just lift it on your side and
Ready?
you've got to hold her straight. Okay?
We straight there?
Right, so just lay it down and that'll do. We get that other one out. Lovely job.
Got it, Keithy? Hang on, which way have I got to pass this to you?
That's from that. Yeah, lie down like that, mate. I think this is heavier than the one we just took off.
Yeah. Alright.
Plans to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ready, Keithy?
right, let's go. Good touch. Kick it some more.
Yeah.
Can she come back down a bit, Kay? Somewhere there. Lovely job. Half better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Farmer's just putting the, taking the chip, making the combine go from beans back to cereals. There's a few things you got to do. You just seen us take the plate off. The main one is this plate underneath. That's where it takes the material into the combine. And it just basically, anything smaller than a bean doesn't go in. It literally just takes the beans. So all the weed seeds, the aim is to get the weed seeds out quickly. There's also plates that have got to go on here on the elevators and the reef rashers, and underneath there's plates that go on here. The ones that are on the bean kit are perforated, and the ones for cereals are solid. And then there's another plate that goes on the other end of the elevator there, the reef rashers here. So, and they just stop, basically they just stop cracking, aid to stop cracking the beans as they run through the combine. So, but farmers can do the rest of those. But the plate at the front is pretty heavy and takes a couple of years to do it. We are hoping to wash it off before it goes out, hoping to. We still got a lot of haymaking to do, so most likely scenario is now we're going to be haymaking and harvesting at the same time, and it's going to get really, really busy. But that's just the way it is. It's sometimes like that. Some years are like that. Some years are easy, like last year, where you can do it all in one go, and farmer's going to have it all washed off before she goes out anyway. So she's ready to go. She's been serviced. She's been looked at by Turners. They've gave her a once over. They've looked at everything, all the chains, the pulleys, everything, elevator stuff. They've gone through that machine pretty good. Engine service as well. You have your engine service every year. So yeah, a lot of work been done to it over the winter. We didn't get to see any of that. It's all been looked at. The adjustment on the header are done with these bolts here. It's set back to a more neutral position at the moment. You can tilt it forward or back depending on crop situations. So if you've got a lot of down crop, you can tilt the knife forward and get under the crop a little bit easier, just to help you along with down crop. So something we might have to adjust this year, something we might have to put back. It just depends on how it all goes. Huh? Hey. Yeah. Don't see many of them, do you? All right, mister.
Hey, fella.
How are ya?
I better know you're here going.
Yeah, let us do this. All right, we'll do it.
Tidy wee farm.
Hey?
It's a tidy wee farm.
You like it?
Yeah.
We try our best.
A bit too close to motorway, like.
Yeah. It wasn't here when we started.
Hey?
They come through with it.
Did they?
Yeah. Bit of a pain, but you don't get a choice.
Did that. I lived on one in Lincolnshire.
Yeah?
And when they built the Humber Creek, they put the approach road straight through the middle of the honey farm.
Yeah.
Such a bloody shame.
That's it. Same with the rail, isn't it? You know, they just.
That HS2 is just. I mean, it's a good idea, but fucking hell, it's making a mess.
The amount. Oh, it's mad, isn't it? It's just mad. How the hell? The amount of people it impacts, isn't it? That was the last of the oats going from the farm. 15 ton. Keithy reckon 14. I got it pretty close. It's raining again. Nibble?
Some of those,
Nibble?
well, they chunk sweet.
Chunk. I don't know if you'd do so well. Might not be so sweet. We're pretty much done here. Keithy's just gonna leave up all the dust on top of the tunnel there. I'm going to take you down the tunnel, show you what's down there. Farmer's just filling a few gaps where the grain might fall through and into the holes. Oh yeah, there you go. Does that stop button work? I'm guessing that's for the fans. If you were ever to come in here and anything happen, I'll take you right down the end. Keithy's been in here, hoovered out all the grains, and in every slat now there's a little bit of bait for the mice and the rats. But temperature sensor here. There's also a moisture sensor as well, emergency cut-offs, stuff like that. Each one of these leads to a tunnel, and in there the wind blows through there and then up under the floor. Heated and cooled. If you're running the heat, you then have to run the, if you're heating the grain up, after you've heated it up to dry it. You then want to have to run the fans with no heat to cool it back down, because the grain has to sit at a certain temperature. To cool it, all the air comes out of this this panel at the back here, and I'll take you around the other side, show you the fans. But yeah, it's a pretty unique little building, this one. I don't know how old it is. I think the guys were saying 60s, something like that. So obviously for the heating, liquid propane and 2 gas per fan, and they basically just blow heat into the fans. The fans then join together and they come out of one door there. There's another inspection panel there if you need to get in there. We don't ever use that too much, and Alistair does most of it. So Alistair does all the controlling work in here for the grain and stuff like that. These fans, yeah, nobody really comes in here. When these are running, no one really comes in here. So somebody keeps an eye on these heaters when they're running. And there's a lot of control panels around the back. I don't know if you'll see much because it's pretty dark back here. These are the control panels, whether you guys could see that. But I actually don't know how it all works or how to turn it on. So that's Alistair's department. He looks after all that. So we monitor the grain as it comes in. If it's coming in, you know, above 15%, we will start running the fans. And if it's coming in wet, as in 16 plus, we will put heat into it. We try not to use the heat if we can. You know, if you've got dry weather, it's better to wait. You know, ideally it's better to wait, but you can't always wait, and sometimes, you know, 16% is better than 18% next week. Farmer and Alistair deal with all that. So, but they're the fans. They're pretty humongous. They've got guards on there, stop you getting sucked in. Right, there we go. Yeah, it's pretty cool grain store. The only bad thing is cleaning it out like that. That's took one solid day or a day and a half, you know, a day and a half really, to clean it out. But it's done properly and it's rebaited. All the any mice left over now will nibble on the bait, and that should clean it up pretty tidy. Actually, it wasn't half as bad as we thought it was going to be, so it was all right. I'm going to lock this up now. Farmer reckons another couple of weeks. You can see they're all going off now. They look like they're going to do pretty well. This is one I planted. This one's pretty clean. There is a little over the wheat. We're pretty happy with the wheat overall. What did Keithy say? He reckons 3.5 ton. I think Farmer reckons 3.5, you know, average. I reckon it's going to do better than that. I think it looks better than last year. It's a Costello wheat, and last year it performed really well, so it gave us some real nice straw. The grain weight was good last year. It just depends, we'll see how it comes in, but it looks pretty good. A little bit of some black grass in some of the other fields, but overall pretty good. Nothing in the forecast really promising for good weather, good haymaking weather. We might get 4 days next week where we might be able to get a couple of days in, but it's changing all the time, so we don't know what's going on at the moment. Anyway, we're going to take Alistair's Manitou back. He kindly lent us it. I think that's where we're going to leave it for this one, because yeah, Farmer's been getting the combine ready. All the panels are back on, everything's sealed back up, everything's ready for cereals again. Just got to wait for the fields to ripen up. Just been through the tyres, checked the tyres, everything else is done. Farmer's checked the grease in on it, it's ready to rock and roll. So we're just going to give it a wash off. We'll get the power washer on it and get it washed off before we go out with it, make it look smart, and yeah, ready to rock and roll with it. Got the grain shed sorted out. We've got panels in here to put up if we want to. We're still looking for jobs. We've got panels that go in here. We sort of use this store, you know, we can blow this out. We use this store as a bit of a wet store if we need to. That's it. We'll leave it there. We'll start a new video tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. I think Keithy might be going to work on that grass field over at Peter's farm, and we've got some topping to do, and Farmer's got some water leaks to look at or something. But yeah, so make sure you like and subscribe. We'll catch you next time. Cheers.